This is a year 2000 Renault Clio 2 Phase 1. It's a cheap car for the masses in its time and for this RT trim, better equipped than its competitors as standard. It's incredibly spacious for its size with loads of room in the front. This car comes with an 8-valve 1.4-litre petrol engine that produces a modest 75 PS. Thanks to short gear ratios, it's quite sprightly and effortless to drive around town. The steering is very light, and so is the gear change, but a bit vague and notchy. It feels very old school.
It may have been generously equipped in its time, don't expect anything luxurious from it. Because those equipments were power steering, passenger airbags, ABS, electric front windows, and height adjustable driver's seat. That's about it. Expectations were different back then. But the sunroof and radio control on the steering column is still a nice touch. Visibility is great all round, even with these thick C-pillars. Something can't be said about today's cars. Storage is plentiful, but not at the center console. Boot space might not be the best in class, but it could still hold a lot of stuff. Just don't expect to move house with it.
If you haul nothing but yourself, it could happily return up to 42 mpg as long as you don't take it on the highway.
And it wouldn't be wise to. Because it's geared like a tractor, the engine starts to scream as soon as it picks up speed. Even though it is capable of achieving up to 70 miles an hour, it is an agonizing process hearing that engine scream from 50 onwards. This, along with all the wind noise, tire roar, and even the rubber door seals squeaking, rubbing each other, would just make your ears bleed.
If you drive on the highway a lot, I highly suggest you get the 16-valve version with 98 PS or the 1.6-litre with 110 if you don't mind paying for the £230 annual tax instead of £145.
Clio is also known for its handling, and I don't doubt this at all. The chassis is very capable. But the problem I have with this car are the seats, which offers absolutely no lateral support. Every time I go around bends, I find myself hovering away from the seats. The steering might be light, but they're also very tight, and it will just fight back the harder you drive. And even worse, they offer absolutely no feedback from the wheels at all, so you can't feel anything. There's absolutely nothing that gives me the confidence to drive it fast, which is very disappointing.
So, by now you can tell that I really don't like spending time with this car.
Along with everything I've said, I don't like the way this car looks. I think the exterior looks really chubby. The interior is too bland, it's too lumpy. The build quality is agricultural at best. And even some of the buttons are in a weird place.
But this car is designed to be cheap. It's for people who cares about nothing but going from A to B, or young drivers who can't wait to start getting behind the wheel. It reminds me of driving my very first car, which also happens to be a Clio. I am glad to revisit a small car like this. It has brought back a lot of nostalgia. Sadly, times have changed and I have moved on.